हाय सो 9th ऑफ मई दैट इज मंडे को LIC के IPO में अप्लाई करने का फाइनल डे है. नाउ देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ बज़ अबाउट दिस IPO इन द मार्केट एंड बहुत सारे वीडियोस हैं जो कि बहुत ही कन्विंसिंग रीजंस के साथ ये बोलते हैं कि क्यों इस IPO में इन्वेस्ट करना चाहिए. एंड देन देयर आर एज मेनी वीडियोस विच इक्वली कन्विंसिंगली से कि क्यों इन्वेस्ट नहीं करना चाहिए. So in this video, I'm going to place both the pros and the cons together, both the reasons of why people think it is a good investment and why people think that it might not be a very good investment together. And in the end, I will also say that what is it that I am doing. So please do watch this video till the end. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do subscribe. I plan to make a lot of videos, not only on wealth growth, but also on career growth and personal growth as well. So please do subscribe. It keeps me motivated and also keeps you updated with my latest content. So let's get started. Let's start with the pros first. एंड सबसे पहला रीजन जो लोग ये कन्विंस हैं कि LIC को खरीदना ही चाहिए इज बेसिकली द इंडस्ट्री अट्रैक्टिवनेस. नाउ इंश्योरेंस इज अ वेरी अंडर पेनिट्रेटेड सेक्टर इन इंडिया एंड LIC उस अंडर पेनिट्रेटेड सेक्टर में मार्केट लीडर है. Not only is the insurance sector under penetrated, but it is also growing. And future में while it catches up with developed economy, it is expected कि ये बहुत ही fast speed से grow करेगा. And क्योंकि LIC इसमें एक market leader है, that is why उसके भी growth होगा and its profitability and business would continuously increase. The second reason is that LIC is a giant and that it is too big to fail. Now this manifests in different forms. So कुछ लोग कहते हैं कि उसका asset under management बहुत ज़्यादा है and if you combine all the mutual funds, उन सब के asset under management से भी ज़्यादा है. Some people say that it has a big brand and not only a big brand but also a very trustworthy brand. And others say कि उसका agents का network बहुत ज़्यादा है. It has more than 13.5 lakh agents and so on. But under all these facts, the common underlying thing is that LIC is too big to fail. Third thing that people are saying is that LIC is backed by the government and that this IPO is not the result of a PE or a VC funded startup investor who is looking for a profitable exit. So there is more trust and belief that the government will create eventually long-term value for the shareholder. And some people are even speculating that eventually government will have to offload more of its equity through a follow-on public offering. And for that to work, this IPO has to be successful so that an overall environment of optimism is created for LIC. And the fourth and the final thing that people say, those people who are convinced with the IPO, is that LIC is getting listed at a very attractive valuation. And compared to the embedded value, the market cap of LIC at the offered price, it would just be 1.1 times its embedded. Let's now look at that how some people look at the same points that are listed as pros here with a different lens and believe that LIC IPO might not be as profitable and as promising as it looks to be. So counter to the first point, while the insurance industry is attractive, but LIC has been continuously losing market share ever since the new players and new private players came into the picture. And this is broadly in line with what has happened in other industries as well. So telecom में जैसे Airtel and Jio आया, BSNL no longer exists now. And similarly, even in airline industry, after Indigo came and a bunch of other private players came, Air India faced a lot of difficulty in maintaining its market share. So if the same thing happens in LIC, and there are some signs that it will continue to happen because LIC has higher premiums and it is less digitized, and there are a bunch of other factors, and hence it will have a very difficult time in facing private competition. So while industry is attractive, but LIC in itself is not in a very good position to compete with the private players. Counter to the second point, a lot of people say that nothing is too big to fail, and LIC, owing to its huge size, will actually have a lot of trouble adopting to the new ways of working. So for example, the 14 lakh strong agent network might actually be an impediment for LIC to push digital adoption. So आज अगर LIC customer को acquire करने की कोशिश एक app के through करे, then its agent network might not like that step because of their own vested interests, and because of this LIC might continue to lose market share. And LIC cannot upset its agent network because the majority of the business still comes from the agent. So the huge size of LIC might not be a strength but actually a weakness. Counter to the third point, while LIC is backed by the government, it also means that government will do a lot of interference in its business. And government ka primary purpose is people's welfare and not creating shareholder value. So like it happened in the past, government might ask LIC to bail out ailing or troubled businesses like it did in the case of IDBI Bank. And this would not be in the best interest of the shareholders. Counter to the fourth point, while the LIC IPO is available at an attractive valuation, the current market conditions are not very good. So there were a lot of uncertainty because of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Then RBI also hiked the interest rates, which led to a stock market correction. And there's also an increase in the cash reserve ratio of banks. So these steps will wipe out liquidity from the market. And you might have noticed कि जब से RBI ने rate hike किया है, other stocks has also gone down. So बाकी के जो अच्छे stocks हैं, they are also available at a very good price. So an investor, instead of trying luck in an IPO, might actually want to invest in those stocks which have given good returns in the past and are now available at a very low price because of the RBI rate hike. Similarly, even if somebody is investing in US stocks, there are a lot of stocks that are available at a very discounted valuation. So because of all these things, the market conditions, the RBI rate hikes, and the other stocks available at a very low price, the IPO might not get as warm response as the government might have thought earlier. Another point which make people believe that LIC IPO is not as good as it sounds is the performance of other PSU IPOs in the past. So before the LIC IPO, there were other big IPOs as well. So for example, Coal India, New India Assurance, and General Insurance Corporation. All these IPOs were big IPOs at the time of their offer, and there was a lot of excitement about these IPOs. But these IPOs did not do justice with the investor expectations, and in fact, even now, if you look at their price, they have actually given negative returns to their investor. So given the past of PSU stocks, given the past of high value IPOs, a lot of people feel that LIC might not give good returns to their investor. And the final point which has come into discussion in the last 2-3 days is that the subscription status of LIC is not very, very strong. So while it has been subscribed at overall 1.5 times, but compared to some of the previous IPOs, this is still less and there should have been more oversubscription. So to give you some context of what 1.5 subscription times means, the Nika IPO was oversubscribed by 88 times. Similarly, the Zomato IPO was oversubscribed 38 times. So unless the multiple reaches this kind of a number, which is 38 in case of Zomato, 80 in case of Nika, until then the chances of listing gains might not be very high. There are still 2 more days to go, so we will only get to know what is the overall subscription status of LIC at the end of 9th of May. But till now, it still sounds lukewarm with 1.5 times subscription status. So coming back to finally, what is it that I am going to do? I think at this stage, I am more convinced with the cons, and I feel it is better to invest my money in those businesses that have done well in the past, that are growing, that are expected to grow, and that are available at a great valuations right now because of various things like RBI rate hikes and global uncertainties. So I'm going to stay away from it for the long term. Even from a listing gains perspective, I think I might look at some data at midday 9th of May and look at the overall subscription status. But as of now, I think I'm going to stay away from this IPO and focus on other stuff. Do let me know if there is any pros or any cons that I missed, and what is it that you are planning to do with the LIC IPO. I hope you found this video useful and that this final review would help you take your call in what is it that you are going to do. Please like and subscribe and stay updated.